No, I mean, even Jim Cramer, Mad Money, even he for the first time endorsed gold. I'm saying, Jim, it's all-time high.
So these people look like idiots because they've been
Yeah.
saying don't buy gold since it was 300 for all
Yeah.
the same reasons.
And now they're gold bulls. You know?
Yeah, what is a dividend when you're making 10% a year, on average for the last 10 years?
So anyway, I think it's a dire time. I don't trust my government, number one. Number two, I don't think our government can solve our problems. Number one, I think they're dishonest.
Ronald Reagan was right. They are the problem.
Yeah, they have self-interest. The only reason somebody is in politics this long is, one is money, two is power. And it's not about you. It's about money and power. And oh, by the way, vote for me and I might throw you something. That's the real reason, in my opinion. But now I have Sal DeCiccio coming to speak from the politician points of view, why he's in politics, and he is hardcore capitalist. You got to have those guys. But guys like me, I just don't trust them. I don't want to believe in them. I don't trust the stock market because to me it's manipulated. I don't know what a price of a stock is, but I know what gold and silver are. I know what oil is. And that's what I know. I know people need a house, roof over their heads, most people. They'll pay for that. And that's the business I'm in, plus some education. So really that's why I'm very optimistic, but I'm worried. Like I said, I have friends and families I've been telling for years, and they still haven't bought. And when that yo-yo last week said, now that silver is over $20, what do you recommend? I said, that's not the question, idiot. I said, how much did you buy when it was under 20? That's the question. And the answer was none. So now they're waiting for the next recommendation. I'm saying, well, if you had loaded up at 1 year ago, you'd be up 100% in a year.
Yeah, you really shouldn't. But people are awfully price conscious. Well, I don't want to buy at an all-time high. Well, you could wait and buy it at double this price. It's still an all-time high, but I have a lot of people, including a brother-in-law, who didn't want to buy at 300, 500, or 700, or 1,000. Finally bought some at 1250. 1250, and he's kind of sheepish about it, but even he realizes that he's been wrong all these years. He's a well-educated guy, a pharmacist, and thought he knew about investing, but when it comes right down to it, he lost money in his stock investments all these years. He says, I guess you're right. Finally says, man. Now he's happy. He's bought silver at 30, and now it's 36. So I guess the last thing that I would say to anybody watching is the only person looking out for you is you.
Okay, so are you optimistic or pessimistic about our government?
About the government, pessimistic. The country and the people are basically good and will survive somehow, but it's not going to be fun.
No. I think we have about 10, 20 more years of hard times ahead of us. Since Jerry talked about 1971, we've had a 30-year bull market.
Well, we've been partying since 1945 on the goodwill of all of the world partners, to take our money, because our money is the world's reserve currency. That's one thing we didn't talk about. In addition to all this, the buyer strike and all that, when we lose our status as the world's reserve currency, which means that other countries won't hold our currency as a reserve as though it was as good as gold, and they're talking about that. China, Japan, Russia, all three are together behind our backs, but it's already known. They want to replace the dollar as a reserve currency, and they want to replace it with something new, something from the International Monetary Fund, something on the order of what they've done with Brussels and the euro. We probably don't like this, but that's probably what's going to happen, because the world is now against us, and we've done it to ourselves by partying with all this fiat money all these years. But we'll probably see out there in a couple of years, as things continue to deteriorate, a new world currency, and it'll have to have a gold backing or nobody's going to want it or trust it.
Right.
And
so these are good times or bad times, and please get educated. That's why I bring Jerry in. He's been in for 30-something years. There's a lot of guys been in only for 5 years who jump in on the bandwagon right now, but they don't have the depth of experience. They haven't seen the insanity of it and the panic, and then the panic when it goes up and the panic when it comes down, because it does come down also. So you really do have to understand that there's a lot of new people in this business today, but they don't have a depth of experience, and that's why I thank you, Jerry, for always being available.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you for watching.